engaging the community since 1970. This is WIS Awareness.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us here on Awareness on this Sunday. I'm your host, Leland Pender, and the South Carolina Human Affairs Commission, along with South Carolina's Collaborative on Race and Reconciliation and the South Carolina Association of Communication Action Partnerships, are planning for a panel discussion across the state to mark End Racism Day. Several of those discussions are happening, and the actual day is on March 21st, and the first event will be in Rock Hill that evening at City Hall. Take a look at the details really quickly. There will also be a film shown on End Racism Day here in Columbia at the Nickelodeon Theater downtown. And that movie is called Life and Nothing More, and a brief panel discussion will follow. And of course, that again is on the 21st. And more of these, again, are planned throughout the state, but with more on these efforts and how it's all coming together, I'm joined by Anita Dantzler, the Community Relations and Outreach Director for the South Carolina Human Affairs Commission. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here, Anita. So let's talk about this. First of all, we saw the event there in Rock Hill that's happening, but here at home in Columbia, this movie, Life and Nothing More, what is that about?
This is about a single mother who has two children. She has a teenage son who she's very worried about, that he may hang out with the wrong friends and end up in prison as his father is in prison. And she's very, very concerned about this. She is struggling, working as a waitress and trying to make ends meet and hoping that he will do the right thing. So it's a story of the struggle of many parents around the country. So we think this is a really important movie to show on End Racism Day.
So on these in these discussions that happen after these events, who are the people participating, and where do you hope folks will get out of it?
Well, we hope that people will kind of understand that you have to talk to each other. You know, that's the thing. We've got to learn about each other so that we're not afraid of each other, so that we'll continue to communicate with each other. Right. One of the persons that will sit on the panel is a Human Affairs Commission employee, Mr. Don Frierson, who will be on the panel. And we're hoping to have some other community members join us on that panel just to talk a little bit about what we do at the Human Affairs Commission. Our mission is to eliminate and prevent unlawful discrimination, and we investigate those cases. So we are trying to get that word out to people that this is what we do. We're here to help you, and everything we do is for free.
So End Racism Day coming up March 21st. How do we do that? How do we end racism?
That's right. This is what we get asked at all of our panel discussions that we hold. You know, what's the 1, 2, 3 things that we need to do in our community to end Racism Day? Well, it's really not that easy. What we keep telling people is that we have to have several conversations with many groups of people. That's why we try to hold panel discussions with a multi-ethnic group of people, multi-religious groups of people, so that you can learn about what another culture may celebrate. And this is why they wear this attire, you know, on this particular day. Or this is why they do some religious ceremony at their desk on this day. If you don't understand it, then you're kind of fearful. Like, what are they doing? But if you know, hey, that's my buddy, he's doing this. It's okay. Right. It's all right.
Got to break down those walls and kind of get rid of that fear of the unknown, because a lot of times there's nothing to be scared of.
That's right.
We're all just different and have different practices and beliefs.
Yes.
You guys are doing a lot with schools across our state.
Yes, we are.
To kind of help in these efforts and get the message to young children. What are you guys doing in that way?
Well, we're so excited to have a partnership with the Department of Education. They have sent out information on a number of activities that schools and children can get involved in on End Racism Day. And we're hearing back from those school teachers telling us that, hey, we're going to do this activity, or hey, we're going to sing this song on this day, and this is some song that is sung in an African country, but we're going to learn it and we're going to sing it and our children are going to know about it. And you should hear the excitement in the teachers' voices. It's wonderful. So we are truly excited that this is happening all around the state of South Carolina on End Racism Day, March 21st.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And you guys also have a proclamation from the governor's office here.
Yes.
Tell me what this means for your effort. I mean, it's so great to have someone in the highest office in the state kind of weigh in and deliver something so official for you all.
We are so excited that the governor has signed this proclamation that on March 21st, that is recognized as End Racism Day in the state of South Carolina. That's huge for us. So to have him say this and put the message out there to the entire state is something that is invaluable. Yeah.
Especially coming from, again, that office and everyone who kind of operates in that circle.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Anita. I wish you much success. Again, End Racism Day is March 21st. The first event will be in Rock Hill, but also an event right here in Columbia and several more to come. TBD on the dates and times and locations. All right. Coming up next this morning, we're talking about the Green Book of South Carolina, an online travel guide to more than 300 historic sites in South Carolina pertaining to African American culture.
I'm one.
Jim Hudson Ford is still the one people choose for big savings. Get new 2019 Escapes for only $18,995. Or get 0% financing for 60 months at Jim Hudson Ford.
When you're inspired to make your house look good, you make the neighborhood look good. And with the Home Depot, everyone looks great. Today is the day for doing. Right now, get Vigoro Mulch 4 bags for $10. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mr. C.
Before I was a lawyer, I was a school teacher. I took confusing ideas and made them easy to understand. And now our firm helps you understand your rights after a car wreck. Just call 999-9999.
Throughout South Carolina, you see it. Business is growing and companies are finding the tools, resources, and partnerships to thrive. For 30 years, SCMEP has equipped small and medium-sized manufacturers with the resources to grow. Whether you need workforce development, continuous improvement, or supply chain optimization, we're here. With SCMEP, you have a partner that provides innovative strategies. Because in South Carolina, the future is now. Make the future yours at scmep.org.
It's bow time at Bojangles. For a limited time, get 2 country ham biscuits for just $3. Traditionally cured, grilled country ham served on a made-from-scratch biscuit. Bojangles buttermilk biscuits are baked every 20 minutes by a master biscuit maker and served up hot and fresh for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Hurry in today for 2 made-from-scratch country ham biscuits for just $3. Bojangles. It's bow time.
I'm one.
I'm one.
Jim Hudson Ford is still the one people choose for big savings. F-150s up to $14,000 off. Or get 0% for 72 months.
Experience it once, and you'll never forget it.
Welcome back to Awareness this morning. I'm now joined by Janie Harriet, the Executive Director of the South Carolina African American Heritage Foundation and the Chairperson of the South Carolina Human Affairs Commission. And this is Dawn Dawson House from the South Carolina Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, glad to have you here. And let's talk about the Green Book. You brought some paraphernalia here to kind of give us an idea of what it looks like. But tell us what it is.
You want me to start?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The Green Book of South Carolina is an online travel guide of more than 300 cultural and heritage sites in South Carolina associated with African American history. So historic markers, historic cemeteries, churches, sites, HBCUs and other historic schools, buildings, anything that we could find in our inventory and in our research that's associated with African American history and heritage, we try to put in the Green Book. And we haven't captured everything.
There's
We're
so much
still,
more out there.
Yes, yes. And it's a fluid project. We're still building and growing and fine-tuning and updating, and so it's out there.
Now, how did it come together? Because that was quite a process in itself to identify these places and people who, of course, have passed away and their impact on South Carolina. So how did the Green Book come together?
Well, the African American Heritage Commission has a publication. It's called African American Historic Sites in South Carolina. And it is a listing of all the sites that have a historical marker or that are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. That was the foundation. Our former chair had always used this as like a travel guide for himself. You know, he would travel around the state and he would use the book. So we decided we would want to create a travel guide. And in order to do that, we use the book and all the sites that were already listed.
And so way back in the day, this was actually something that African Americans used to navigate through parts of the South safely.
Yes. Our guide this year, today, pays tribute to the nation's first travel guide for African Americans called the Negro Motorist Green Book. And it was a safe havens directory where people who were traveling around the whole country, actually not just the South, but around the whole country, could find hotels, restaurants, gas stations, attractions, and services that would serve African Americans. So it was a very popular guide at its time.
And today, you have so many efforts built around this. You also work with the schools in education efforts with this. What other kind of partnerships do you have surrounding the Green Book?
Well, it's a partnership across all of our projects because we work with the Department of Ed and we create lesson plans for grades K through 12 that are geared to the standards for social studies and the arts. And we use the African American Historic Places Guide, but those sites are also in the Green Book. So we're creating new tours as well. We just created a new tour based on Briggs versus Elliott case. And so teachers can take these lesson plans and integrate them into their curriculum, not just social studies, but the arts, math, literacy, whatever lesson they're teaching, they can take these lesson plans and integrate African American history.
I mean, you've really done a lot of the work for the teachers. They just have to pick it up and take a look at it.
That's exactly right.
That's the point. That's the whole goal.
That's the whole goal because teachers say they don't have time to do the research. So we've done the research for them.
And it's being, the reception as well?
The reception has been well because we don't just hand it to them. We go around the state and do training on how to use the guide. We provide professional development in schools, at conferences, on how to use the guide and how to take this resource and make it alive in your classroom.
That's really fascinating. I want to hop back to our first topic real quickly, talking about those historical markers around the state. When the commission first got started in '93, there was only 30-some of these historical markers in the state, marking and commemorating African American history. Today, there's more than 250.
Well, I think there might be even more than that, but it wasn't just 36 historical, it was 36 markers and listing on the National Register. So that's a combination of two programs. And now now there are almost 300 sites listed in the National Register of Historic Places and have historical markers. So we're really proud of that. We've been doing this for 25 years.
Is it interesting that South Carolina, back in 1993, at that time said, okay, we really need to document this, find these places and honor and, memorialize this history? Should it have happened sooner, or was it, better late than never kind of a thing?
Well, better late than never, but it should have happened sooner.
Okay.
And it wasn't the state, it was people who were concerned that our history was not being saved or preserved that pushed the state and pushed the General Assembly to say, this is important and let's do something about it.
So what's next for you all? I know all your projects are ongoing, and one you're working on right now is entitled How Did We Get to Now? And that's a book or a documentary series?
It is actually a survey of African American schools from before the Civil War up to the late 60s. It includes Rosenwald schools. It includes one-room schools. It includes church schools, equalization schools, and more important to me, those schools that closed because of integration during the 60s and the 70s. It is a document. It is online at the Department of Archives and History's website, and we do have a few hard copies.
And your work with the State Parks and Rec Department is so vital, your partnership in this.
Yeah.
Without y'all, a lot of this might not even be possible.
Well, what I brought to the table, I joined them, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
What I brought to the table was the latest technology, the latest trends in travel and tourism. So the Green Book of South Carolina, although everybody wanted a vacation guide of some kind of all these historic sites and markers and cemeteries and churches that they were documenting and preserving, they wanted a guide of some kind. I brought to the table, well, it needs to be online because today's traveler travels by smartphone. A lot still travel with hard copy guides, but the smartphone is the way to stay in the consumer marketplace if you want our brand and if you want the heritage of African Americans to last for years and years and years in the consumer marketplace. We needed it online. And not only online, but online with elements that help the traveler. Driving directions to get to the place, other nearby locations, sharing your experiences on Facebook and Twitter, stuff like that. And that's what the Green Book brought to the table.
There's a lot packed into these little pamphlets and the app that's online, a wealth of information. Thank you both. A quick break this morning. We'll be right back.
If you believe you have been discriminated against, call the South Carolina Human Affairs Commission at 803-737-7800. Talk to us, report it, and we will investigate it. We prevent and eliminate unlawful discrimination. The service we provide is free. Call us at 803-737-7800 or go to our website at schac.sc.gov.
Let's get ready to do it!
World of Dance has a new twist. What? 2 eliminated acts will compete for redemption.
Fight for God!
World of Dance Duels tonight on NBC. Good Girls is Sunday's newest obsession.
We're going to make sure he can't ever bully us again. I think you should kill him. I'm going to be a good person.
No, you weren't more interested in that.
Good Girls tonight on NBC.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you have or are eligible for Medicaid, please listen closely. You may be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan from WellCare Health Plans with zero or low plan premium. Call 1-866-907-5952 now. That's 1-866-907-5952. Representatives will provide detailed information and help see if you qualify. WellCare provides access to a large network of local and regional doctors and hospitals. Plus, some plans may include benefits for dental, vision, hearing, Part D prescription drugs, and more. WellCare is contracted with Medicare to provide plans that may be right for you. Call 1-866-907-5952 now. That's 1-866-907-5952.
Welcome back. Real quickly, Miss Harriet, I gave you the wrong title earlier. You're the chairman of the
South Carolina African American Heritage Commission.
Got it. Okay. All right. And real quickly, before we switch gears to a big event you guys have coming up, the movie The Green Book came out recently and won a lot of awards this award season. And you guys were saying that has really boosted people's interest in what you all do. And you've seen hits on the website and just a lot of phone calls. How's that been?
We were quite surprised.
Yes.
And the two are not related. Our product and their product, the movie, are not related, but they both pay tribute to the historic guide. So people, especially news media, were like, well, what other Green Book is out there? And they came across ours and said, hey, you know, why did you call it a Green Book, and what is it exactly, and how is it related to the original guide? So we've gotten international news media coverage. We've gotten national coverage. We've just, you know, and of course the state You know, the Post and Courier and the state newspaper.
Yeah.
They're all covering. It's just pretty good.
That's so cool. All right, let's switch gears now. You guys have a big event coming up, celebrating 25 years with the African American Heritage Foundation, or the Commission, rather. Tell us what's going to be going on. There's the flyer for the event.
Well, first, let me just say that it is 25 years, and I've served for 25 years on the commission. I was one of the original members appointed, but we feel that this is such an important event that we've been around for 25 years, and the work that we've done for 25 years, and the work that we've done with very little funding from the state. And so we launched this 25 for 25 last year, which was actually the 25th year. We're culminating it this year to raise $25,000 for 25 years. And we're culminating with the big gala on April 5th at the Department of Archives and History, and we have some headliners.
Tell us about that. We saw some pictures of the musical act that will be coming. That's really exciting. His name? Again?
John Lakin and
Band of Worshipers.
Band of Worshipers, yes. And your keynote speaker, Mr. Charles Wright, here on the bottom of your screen. He has a connection to the commission as well, and he's a very accomplished artist. Let's play a quick video of him and learn some more about him really quickly here.
Is Duke University.
Actually, I was in an organic chemistry lab, and my roommate, Paul, came to me and said, my girlfriend is sick. I have a ticket for this show. And I thought, yes, please, anything to get me out of organic chemistry. So I left that lab, went to see the musical Pippin, and my life changed. And at that time, I was at the height of my existentialist being. My existentialist self was erupting all over Duke campus, because I thought, what is the meaning of life, and where am I going, and what is this? And that musical is exactly that. Questioning every choice, questioning what you should do, and that's what you do, especially in college. You question. I graduated and I went to New York, and I thought, I need a sign. I need to know, do I go to med school, or do I do a show? Do I go into theater? Do I go into this insane business? What do I do? And I started auditioning, and the first show that I got was Pippin. And that started my journey, and I've yet to enroll in med school. The pursuit of the dream is more important than the dream. And that pursuit was everything to me. Let me try this. Let me see if this is what I should do.
Oh, okay, so that's a little bit of his background, and he went on to do some really great things. I'll let you all talk about that. In addition, though, tell me what you think he brings to this gala at this event.
Well, the first thing is, he's from South Carolina. So the fact that he's willing to come back and pay it forward is what I see. So, and that we have someone from right here in South Carolina who has this international fame.
He's worked with so many people. B.B. Winans, Felicia Rashad, in film, TV, theater. Some of his works are like Motown the Musical, Greenleaf. He directed some of those episodes on the OWN channel, Greenleaf. Step Up High Water, Live from Lincoln. He's done so many things. His portfolio is stunning. And we're just impressed that he wants to come back and give us some motivational talk, some talk about history and heritage and how it all relates and how we can move forward just like he did. And we are just impressed with that.
Later in that video there, he talks about, of course, music and Motown especially, because that's the Broadway show he, is responsible for kind of making and putting together. And back in the day, again, when he was coming up and how Motown music really just held people together, it brought people together. He talked about how it was just the music of America. It wasn't Black America or Detroit America. He says it was just the music of America.
And if you I went to Broadway to see the play, and you could tell from the people in the audience, it is the music of America. We were all just jumping up and dancing.
It brought you together.
Right. People would, it wasn't just people sitting in the audience watching the show. We were into the music and dancing and carrying on with everybody as well.
And that goes in hand with what you do again with the Green Book and your other efforts, the education component with children in the schools and the arts as well, not just the social studies like you mentioned in those other areas.
Correct.
That's right. And this year, announcement, we, being the African American Heritage Commission, got the Verner Awards for Arts in Basic Education because we wrote, again, a teacher's guide using art, and we conduct summer institutes for teachers using art to integrate into the curriculum with African American historic sites.
That is fantastic. Look, if you're interested in attending the gala or just want to learn more and maybe think about it, you have some time. It's coming up on April 5th. That's a Friday. It's going to be at the South Carolina Archives and History Center on Park Lane Road in Columbia. And if you want to check out the tickets, head to scheritagefound.org. There is a cost, and it's sure to be a great time with Mr. Wright there, and again, the musical act, Mr. Lakin, and the band of worshipers.
Yes.
All right. Thank you both for coming today. A lot of fascinating stuff to get through in this short amount of time, but I think we did it. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll be right back.
Ford is built for spring. So if you want low financing and big cash back on the SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty, get a Ford. If you want to save more on the brand with more SUVs on the road today, get a Ford. If you want the best deal of the season, get a Ford during the Ford Spring Sales Event. Now, get 0 for 60 plus 1,000 bonus cash on Escape, Edge, and Explorer. Or get up to $3,250 cash back at your Carolina Ford dealer.
If you're climbing a ladder to clean your gutters, that can be pretty dangerous. Clogged gutters can cause major problems for your home, including your fascia boards, walls, even your shrubbery and foundation can begin to deteriorate. Call me now and never clean your gutters again, I guarantee it. LeafGuard's patented one-piece system means your gutters will never clog, or we'll come out and clean them absolutely free. Call now and installation is free. But that's not all. Be one of our first 10 callers and we'll give you a free 3-day, 2-night vacation with the purchase of LeafGuard. Call me now.
I might be a little slower than I used to be, and I need a helping hand here and there, but I'm still me. I still have memories to make. In my life, I've learned an important lesson. My age doesn't define who I am. I do.
We believe in the power of joy and purpose at any age. Comfort Keepers. Elevating the human spirit.
Thanks again to all my guests today for joining me. Some great information again. That gala coming up April 5th at the Archives and History Center in Columbia. More info at scaaheritagefound.org. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your Sunday.